honesty, and he got it. That honesty carried into Hypnotic Eye in 2014, a milestone that came surprisingly late. After more than 40 years, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers finally hit #1 on the Billboard 200. The album sold 131,000 copies in its first week. Songs like You Get Me High found space on radio stations, and fans streamed early tracks through a special interactive feature on the official website. The sound blended new and old, and producer Ryan Ulyatt mixed almost everything using only 2 plugins, keeping the music clean and direct. No one knew it then, but Hypnotic Eye would become the last Heartbreakers studio album released during Petty's life. During the tour that followed, his health gave the first serious warning. In 2014, he suffered a lung collapse on stage because of pneumonia. It forced the cancellation of 17 shows. The collapse came from years of smoking 2 packs a day, which had already led to emphysema. Even though the pain was intense and breathing was difficult, he pushed through as much as he could. Doctors told him to stop, rest, and quit smoking. He tried to manage the symptoms with medication, but the decline had already started. This health scare marked a turning point that foreshadowed the years ahead. The next major chapter came in 2020, with the reissue of Wildflowers and All the Rest. Fans had long heard rumors that Petty wanted the 1994 album to be a double record. The reissue finally revealed how much he had created during those sessions. He had recorded more than 30 songs, but Warner Bros. Insisted he cut it down to 15. The expanded set offered 24 additional tracks, demos, and unreleased pieces. It opened a window into his process and his vision. After his passing, his family and Ryan Ulyatt completed the project. It was a gift to listeners and a restoration of something that had been taken from him by label pressure decades earlier. Before the 2017 tour, Petty said in interviews that it might be his last. He talked about wanting more time with his granddaughter and about the chronic pain that followed him everywhere. His hip was cracked, his emphysema was worsening, but the tour was already scheduled. Tickets were sold. Crews were hired. 53 shows waited on the calendar. More than 637,000 tickets were sold, and the tour earned $61 million. He chose to push through the pain night after night. He did it for the people around him. He did it for the fans who had walked with him for decades. His final tour became a story of courage and suffering happening at the same time. He had a fractured hip, emphysema, coronary disease, and knee issues. Still, he went on stage for every single show. Drummer Steve Ferrone often carried him to the stage because walking had become nearly impossible. Petty took oxycodone to manage the pain, timing it so it would take effect right when the lights came up. Fans saw a strong frontman. They didn't see the cost he paid to stand there. Each night made the fracture worse. By the end, the damage was significant. His commitment showed love, but it also showed how much he hid behind his smile. His last performance came on September 25th, 2017. At the Hollywood Bowl. The band was celebrating its 40th anniversary, and the show felt both triumphant and tender. Petty closed with American Girl. Videos from the night show him tired but grateful. He thanked the crowd for 40 years. He introduced his band with affection and pride. The crowd cheered, unaware that this was the final time they would see him play. Behind the scenes, his pain was nearly unbearable. The people close to him saw it, but the show still went on. 1 week later, he was gone. After the tour, his health collapsed quickly. On October 1st, 2017, a doctor told him his hip was fully broken. The pain grew sharp and overwhelming. At home, he relied on fentanyl patches, oxycodone, and other medications to manage the agony. On October 2nd, he went into cardiac arrest at his home in Malibu. His wife Dana found him and called for help, but the doctors at UCLA Medical Center couldn't revive him. The autopsy showed multi-system organ failure caused by a mix of strong medications taken for real medical reasons. His death was ruled accidental. The report revealed how much pain he was in and how dangerous the combination of opioids and sedatives can be, especially for someone who had multiple health problems. The family released a statement explaining that his death might have been prevented if he had taken time for surgery instead of going on tour. They said he had been warned about the danger of the medications, but felt too loyal to cancel shows. They hoped his story would spark conversations about pain management and the risks involved. They shared their sorrow and said, that although his final days were filled with pain, he died peacefully and surrounded by love.